Right, hello everyone, welcome back. I'm your friend in Saxo. In the previous video, we have tried the spoken practice, and to be honest, it doesn't do much for us. Basically, if you want to know new things, if you want to increase your vocabulary, what you need to do is to go to the read practice where you could get as much vocabulary as you can, because you made a lot of words that you don't know before, and by doing so, you will also get an idea of how to compose an article, and which will help you to increase your writing ability. Today, let me just try to get into the writing practice section. In general, we shouldn't do the two practice, the spoken and the writing practice that much. What we need to focus on is the listening and the reading part, because only the two parts will have a lot of materials for us to learn. And one thing for you to notice is that when you do the practice of the listening, the best way for doing that practice is not listen to it, but on the contrary, spoke it out. And of course, you have to understand those sentences first, then you spoke them out. And after you get very familiar with those materials you spoke, you could definitely understand what other people say about those things. Alright, so let's get into it. I have never done this before, so I'm gonna get into it and say how it looks like. For the test 1, you should spend about 20 minutes on this task. Write at least 150 words. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. The charts below show the changes in ownership of electrical applicants. What is that? And amount of time spent doing housework in households in one country between 1920 and 2019. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. This is a percentage of households with electrical appliances. This is a word that I don't know. Let me just try to do a translation.
Appliances.
Some device that you could use to, let's say, empower your life when you stay at home. For example, you have a cook machine, and also you have the air condition, you have the TV, all kinds of things that you would love to buy just to make your life better at home when you stay at home. Right. So let's say, how can we do this? Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Comparisons, what is that?
Comparisons.
Oh, if you told me this, I would definitely understand what's the meaning of that, because I was more like a man who can understand the sound comparisons and make comparisons where relevant. Alright, so as you could say, we could zoom this picture a little bit so that we could see it clearly. Here we got the washing machine. It's a black line. It's not increasing over the time that much like the refrigerator or the vacuum cleaner. Did you know what is a refrigerator? It's a device that you could put your, let's say, food into it so that your food could stay the edible condition or state as long as possible. And then for the vacuum cleaner, it's a device that could help you to clean your house. And as you could say, for the washing machine, people have that. For sure, one family would buy one. Percentage of householders with electrical appliance. Okay, if you think about this graph, what you would think, or what I would think, is that for the washing machine, I think everyone needs it because people want to wash their clothes as often as possible. They would do that with a high frequency, and so that's why they definitely need to buy a washing machine. So the buying rate, or the percentage of householders with that device, washing machine, is quite stable because most people just want it. Okay, and for the refrigerator, no, you should think about this. Well, after the 1980 years, you see that almost every family got a refrigerator and almost every family got a vacuum cleaner. Why? It is because that they needed that. They needed that so much. Everyone needs a cooler box to save their food. food. Otherwise, the food would be uneatable in a short time. And if you compare with the refrigerator and the vacuum cleaner, everyone will definitely clean their house, but it depends. For example, only after the 20,000 people start to buy the cleaner machine. Why? Because people got, let's say, higher salary, and they needed to increase their life quality. So that's why they buy the vacuum cleaner. And for the, let's say, washing machine, it depends. If it's used to wash clothes, then definitely everyone should have it. But if it's just something that only could be used to wash the tableware or plates, then we don't need that much. So let me just do a translation for it. Okay, so it seems like it's indeed for the washing machine. It is used to wash the clothes. But why there aren't so many people use it? Probably some of them would think that, well, it's better to do it by hand. I don't know why. And let's go to the next graph. Number of hours of housework per week per household. Well, from this graph, we could definitely notice that as the time goes on, the more close to the current state, the more likely people spend less time on their housework. Why? Because people don't want to waste their time on that. People want to do other stuff, enjoy their life, than being in the house every day kind of stuff. It's so tedious. Okay. So after this much time of talking, in the end, we have to write it down. So let me try to do that. Right, so finally, guys, I have finished the writing part. This is what I have wrote. People almost got 100 usage on the refrigerator and the vacuum cleaner. It indicates that the two appliances are necessary for human life, and the refrigerator get 100 usage earlier than the vacuum cleaner. It is because saving food has a higher priority than saving time for house clean. And one thing is for sure, as the time goes by, more and more people start to buy electronic appliances because it makes life better. For the second graph, it shows that as the time goes by, people have spent less time on the housework. Why? Because of the usage of house electrical appliances. It increases the productivity of housework so that it could save time for those people. And that's why we could say a clear decline on the second graph. And why? For the washing machine, it always got a stable rate. I think it is because of the culture in some advanced country like US. Because in such a country, there always got some big washing public. There always got some public shared washing room where people could put their clothes in and get the cleaned clothes out. So I'm gonna hit the submit button. Let me see if we can. Oh, okay. So as always, there has no judgment for our answer. What we could do is try to read an article here. This is considered to be the reference answer. Let me read that. This is an answer written by a candidate who achieved a board 5.0 score. This chart shows about percentage of householders with electrical appliances and the number of hours at housework per week per household between 1920 and 1990 and 2019. In the first chart, washing machine, refrigerator, vacuum cleaner are rise from 1920 to 1990 to 2019. Refrigerator and vacuum cleaner increase faster than washing machine. In 1920, refrigerator just 0% of households, and refrigerator is 30% of households. But in 2019, they all increase 100% of household. Washing machine is 2% of households in 1920. However, in 2019, it's just increased about 15% at households. And washing machine is over by refrigerator and vacuum cleaner in 1940 and 1960. Vacuum cleaner is over by refrigerator in 1942. In the second chart, houses per week is 50 number of hours per week, but it declined to 10 number of hours per week in 2019. Over then, percentage of households with electrical appliance increase. However, number of hours per week declined from 1920 to 1990 to 2019. Alright, so do you want to know how I think about this? Well, from my answer, I intended to make an analyze about those data. I want to find out why those data come with that way. I always want to explain that thing for you guys, and I tried my best to use my logic thinking to help you clean those information out, to help you have an understanding about why things going that way. But in this answer, they think this is good. What he did is just to do a translation to make the graph transferred into some sentences that just talks about the graph itself. It didn't do any, let's say, conclusion or analyzing or let's say logic thinking or something like that. They didn't do that at all. As I think, they are just, let's say, doing some robot stuff. You know, the machine learning could do that kind of thing also. And I think as a human, people would more likely to, you know, read those graphs than those empty words that just talking about those data. It doesn't make sense to normal people. But instead, if you try to explain those data, no matter it's in the graph format or in any other kind of format, if you can explain it in a human understandable way, I think you would get more trust and, you know, get more agreements on the person who you are. Okay, so this is today's video. At least we have learned something, right? I don't know if how much score I could get if I submit my answer to the real exam. I have no idea about that. But that's it. I would do less the writing and no, I would just do less of the writing kind of stuff because it doesn't make sense. It won't, you know, increase our ability anyway. So what we should be focusing on is the listening, reading, and spoken part. Okay, that's today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.